Hey, high levelers, Rio Daniel here. I'm back with another exciting video regarding AI knowledge bases. Now, what is an AI knowledge base? I'm glad you asked. It is a new feature that Highlevel has just recently released that makes it very easy to keep the voice AI system inside of the AI employee synchronized with conversation AI inside of the same sub account. So this has been a problem that people have been struggling with ever since voice AI came out, because conversation AI came out before then. But then when voice AI came out, it's like they didn't have the same programming connection. So conversation AI had its own training that it could do. But then voice AI, you had to use a prompt to train it and point it and do some kind of strange things to keep the voice AI to train it the same way. Now with AI knowledge bases, it puts both of these systems on the same level and gives it the same system to learn from. So you don't have to sit back and teach both of them. All you have to simply do is create the knowledge base. Once you create it, go into both systems and say, here is the knowledge base I want you to use to learn from. Go. Just that easy. And if you want to switch, you can switch from a knowledge base of a dentist over to a knowledge base of an electrician like that. Very quick, very easy within a few minutes to reprogram AI to do that. So now that we're here, let's go take a look at AI knowledge bases. Awesome. Let's hop in here and take a look. All right, so inside of here, let's go ahead and talk about, first of all, where the knowledge bases are. So they're inside of the sub-account settings. And then here, if you take a look on the left-hand side, you see there's a new feature called knowledge bases. So if you go ahead and click on that and open it up. Now notice here, I've actually got several knowledge bases already pre-configured inside of this demo account, just to kind of let you take a look at it. Now, when you think of a knowledge base here, the knowledge base really is the same kind of programming that you did see inside of conversation AI. But what Highlevel did was took that training piece and said, this is really good training. This is what we want for both systems. Let me remove this feature from conversation AI and let me create something completely different called a knowledge base. And then once we create the knowledge base, then we can reassign that knowledge base back to conversation AI and then update voice AI over here with the same knowledge base and keeping them on sync. Now, because of this, every time you update a knowledge base, you don't need to update either one of the systems that are currently connected to that knowledge base because it automatically gets updated. So let's take a quick look and see what this is about here. Up here, if we take a look at create knowledge base, right now you just see we have a name. I'm just going to call it test one, call it test, and then I'm going to say create. Now here's what you get. Some of these are going to be very similar to what you're used to seeing inside of the old conversation AI. And again, if you're looking to get the updated conversation AI video, I'll have another one of those videos on my channel coming out, because the conversation AI has changed a bit with a couple of other new cool features called brand voices, which is a cool centralized way. I'll have another video for brand voices out too. So just nothing but AI videos out for you guys here on this channel, letting you know what's going on inside of Highlevel. So back to the knowledge base. Okay, so here inside of the knowledge base, we can add a source. Now, if we open this up, notice we have a web crawler, an FAQ, and then coming soon, you're going to be able to upload a file. Now, for the most part, if you go in and do a web crawler, this is very similar to what you have remember seeing inside of the conversation AI when you're dealing with the bot training. Inside of there, if you remember, that interface doesn't look the same, so I can't show it to you. For those people that remember what it looks like, this should look very familiar. Now, here you have an exact URL, meaning just go look at this one URL and learn from it. You can do all paths, all URLs with that path. So if you wanted to go out and learn a website, give it the root domain, and then as long as you've got the right files on your site, it'll find all the other pages and index all the other pages as well. But here is just a cool place where you can put in, me personally, I like to use Google Documents. So Google Documents to create just like a very large, specific, but generic enough FAQ about the particular business niche to be able to answer basic questions. For instance, if you're dealing with HVAC, heating, venting, and air conditioning. So there are some specific questions that certain areas, regions, and things like that may have, but overall, you wanted to be able to answer basic generic questions regarding heating and cooling. So again, you could always have a good base frequently asked questions file. And then once you get that, then update that particular file for a particular client and then customize this particular web crawler with that Google document. So I'll show you that's exactly what I did on the other knowledge bases, but I went out and got anywhere from, I think it's minimum 25 to 50, somewhere in there, frequently asked questions regarding that particular niche and built that into the knowledge base. So it has at least a predefined knowledge base about the business itself, but nothing specific on pricing, nothing specific maybe on your services. You might need to go a little bit deeper into services, things like that. So you would put in a URL here and then you would just simply click extract data and it would load that and it would learn it. Now, I'm not going to do it here. I'm going to show you what an existing knowledge base looks like, but I do want to show you what manually adding an FAQ looks like. So if you go here, this right here is where you would have all your FAQs. Just come here, click on FAQ. You would add your question and answer right here. So if you don't want to update the file and you just want to simply put in a new question and answer here to give it the correct response, then you can manually load this FAQ here and load it up with as many as you like. If you click on this right here, it's going to be a coming soon. So the knowledge bases really aren't like, that different than what conversation AI is. Again, they just took that piece out of conversation AI and shared it between both AI systems, both voice AI and conversation AI, so that they both have the same common knowledge, so they can both answer questions. So when people call on the phone with voice AI and they ask a question, that voice AI now will be able to read the knowledge base, understand those questions, and provide answers, which is one of the biggest things that people wanted to do. And now, if you didn't know, you can also book appointments with voice AI. Not going to go over that here. Just want to give you that because this channel is all about giving you information. Hey, if you're learning something, smash that like button. Leave me a comment. I appreciate that. Appreciate you guys being here. So let's take a look at some of these other knowledge bases here. Let's do landscaping. So here under landscaping, we'll see that we have, what I've done is I basically created an FAQ Google document regarding this for every one of these industries. And what I've done is I basically loaded this Google document. All I have to do is share it, give it the link. The crawler, all it needs to do is have read access. It doesn't need to be able to change anything to be able to read that document and so forth. So again, if I wanted to, I can add a second document, a third, a fourth, and so forth. Now, here's the cool thing. If you do use Google Documents and you do want to go in and have either yourself, your VA update a particular document and you do an update to it, you do need to come in here and click on this little button right here. This right here will actually do a refresh of the file. And then once it does that, it'll refresh at a certain date time. It'll pull in all the information and now you'll get this nice green trained button right here. Okay. So this is the first step of knowledge bases. This is where it's pretty cool. Okay. To have this other additional area that now you can sit back and define all of these in. Here's another super, super cool thing here is you can now include knowledge bases into your snapshots. I'll say that again. You can now build all of your knowledge bases. And when you create a snapshot, you can keep all of those knowledge bases, including your voice AI agents, things like that. But these knowledge bases do get stored in the snapshot. So there you can have one massive like snapshot with all the knowledge bases you want. And then once you download them or install the snapshot, however you want to think about it, now you could just choose whatever business niche you want for that particular kind if you want to do that. But I'm just letting you know it is pretty cool because now once you build one system with one Google document, you can keep that same Google document and then every account that gets created after that will pull from that same document. So all you have to do is update the one document, the one Google document, and then all of your AI systems that depending upon that will be trained automatically. Does that make sense? Hopefully it does. Again, that's pretty cool. But now what I want to do is kind of show you where these knowledge bases come in to conversation AI as well as to voice AI. So let's hop into the voice AI agents right here. I'm just going to pick one here. Now, when you open this thing up, one of the things you're going to see, this main screen is pretty much still going to be the same. But if you click on these agent goals, what you're going to see now is this nice little select knowledge base. Okay. This right here is where the magic happens. This is where you can sit back and say, okay, now I want this to pull from the landscaping knowledge base. Now keep this in mind. You can have one voice AI agent per phone number. So you can have multiple phone numbers and then have multiple voice AI agents respond to each one of those numbers. So every sales member of your team can have their own voice AI agent, have their own knowledge base if they want to, and things like that. And that's one of the things I think is pretty cool. But one of the things about this is that they do limit one knowledge base to one voice AI here, at least in this current rendition. So whenever you do that, you're going to click save. I'm not going to do that because I don't want to mess this thing up here. But once you do that, then the knowledge base is saved. And now the voice AI system can learn from the knowledge base and be able to answer any questions that is a part of that particular knowledge base. Again, super cool and very quick. Very quick. Once the knowledge base is created, once it's been trained and into the knowledge base system, switching this link from here, I can go to landscaping. Next thing I know, I'll come down here and do pest control. Boom. Next thing you know, the voice AI doesn't know anything about landscaping. Now all it knows is about pest control because that's the only knowledge base that we've given it. See? So that right there is where the power of that comes in. Now, let me show you what this thing is in conversation AI. So I'm going to open up another conversation AI bot, just any particular one that you have, and then you're going to come over to bot training. So inside of your bot training, this is technically where that knowledge base area was at. Like you had the web crawler and the FAQs and some things on this particular screen, but now see that you have this drop-down list that allows you to select different knowledge bases. Now, here's the one thing that's pretty cool. This allows you to have up to 7 knowledge bases. So again, I could load the existing knowledge base. I could load the dentist one. I could load HVAC. I could load nail salon. Now, why exactly would you want to do that? That's a great question. I don't really have a great answer of why you would probably end up wanting to do that. But the cool thing about it is that you can have a knowledge base for, again, because this is conversation AI, and because of this, you're using this for different channels. So if you look back here at your different channels, I'm going to click cancel on this one here. I don't want to retrain it, but for this particular one, the bot settings for this one, cancel. Okay, goodness, man, this thing just does not want to cooperate here. But anyway, you've got the different channels that you've got right here. So again, you can have one voice AI agent, or sorry, one conversation AI agent doing SMS, one doing Facebook and Instagram, one doing live chat. And each one of these different conversation AIs can now be connected to a different knowledge base. So again, you can have a different knowledge base for all those people on social media when they communicate with you via the website, or if you're doing different things on social media, you can have a different knowledge base that you have for those people than you do for people that visit your website, or the people that just text you directly from SMS. Now, why exactly would you want to do that? I don't know. Depending on your business situation, you might have those things a need for that, but I'm just trying to help you understand what's possible now that you actually have a knowledge base that can be shared between these systems. You can easily, quickly program your bot within just literally minutes. As soon as you can get the knowledge base updated, and you could just keep programming and programming this thing more and more. And then every time you do that, the conversation and the voice AI just becomes smarter and smarter. So again, this is a great feature that I'm happy to bring out to you guys to show you that it's a cool feature, but now voice AI and conversation AI can now be on the same system, on the same page with the training, because they both pull from the same knowledge base. So again, if you like this video, if you found it informational, if you learned even one thing, smash that like button, leave me a comment. If you have not subscribed to my channel, do yourself a favor, hit the subscribe button. Don't walk away from here. I got too much value on this channel. I appreciate you hanging there with me, and you guys have a great day. Bye-bye.